Well, Peter Jackson's had a very triumphant night, late night, of course, as well, and he's made his way to our studio in the middle of London, I think 6 o'clock in the morning, British time. Peter Jackson, thank you very much for getting up so early and making the effort to be with us.
Fine, Paul. Hi, how are you?
Good. Well, how are you? Late night, been to bed at all?
Yeah, no, I did. I got to bed at 2. I thought I'd better be somewhat compos mentis to talk to you, so I got 2 or 3 hours sleep.
Very nice, Peter. Thank you. That was a very athletic run up onto the stage, Peter. Very athletic run up to the stage and a very vigorous embrace of Kate.
Yeah, well, I obviously, you know, Kate and I worked together a long time ago. Her first film, Heavenly Creatures, and so as she was reading the nominees out and I was sitting there, I was just thinking, well, you know, this would be too good to be true if it was my name that she read out. You know, fate is not usually that kind. So I, in a funny kind of a way, I wasn't really expecting to win because I thought it would just be too neat. And when she did read out my name, I couldn't get up there fast enough.
What did she say to you when you left the stage?
She just said she was incredibly proud, and she said, look, you know, it's been 9 years, and look what's happened to us both in the last 9 years. And I mean, she's just an extremely good friend of ours, so she was thrilled. She was really thrilled.
What does it mean to you, Peter, to win Best Director at the BAFTAs, to win Best Movie at the BAFTAs?
Well, it means a lot. It means an awful lot, actually, because the film obviously has this very English connection with Professor Tolkien, and the fact that he wrote the book for England, he was very proud of his country, and we were a bunch of Kiwis, you know, using American money, making the film of his book, and the fact that England has acknowledged the film in that way sort of makes us feel that we've done really well. So I'm extremely pleased.
Yeah, that's interesting. So what do they tell you they like about the film, the British people, the British film and television theatre people you meet?
Well, I think they just like what other people like. They just like the entertainment of the film. They, you know, they like just seeing this. I mean, a lot of people actually have been saying to me that looking at the Fellowship of the Ring made them feel like they were young again. They were seeing films as they used to see them when they were kids. You know, and that was really nice.
You must have no regrets about casting Ian McKellen as Gandalf, of course, because he's been nominated left, right and centre for Best Supporting Actor, but he's a tremendous friend of the films, isn't he?
He is. He's fantastic, Ian, yeah. Yeah, he's just a nice, sweet man, and obviously the most brilliant actor for us to use. You know, he was always our first choice. We never had anyone else in mind, and, you know, it's great.
What do the British people ask you about New Zealand? I mean, do you find genuinely that there's an increase in curiosity about New Zealand, both as a place to go, both as a country, but also as a potential film location?
I'm starting to feel that too, both from England and America. It's going to be interesting. I'm going to be very curious over the next 2 or 3 years to see what happens. I hope somebody figures out a way to quantify the, you know, any increase in tourism, because I know that before the films came out, there were some people in the tourist industry that claimed that movies don't affect tourism. But I would be amazed if that was the case. There's so many people have asked me about New Zealand, and I suspect we're going to see more American film productions coming down to the country over the next year or two as well.
Russell Crowe say nice things to you last night?
Yeah, he did. He said it was a. He said that the Kiwis had done well, and he was really chuffed. He was really nice.
Judi Dench say anything to you last night?
I passed her. She said congratulations, but I was a little bit kind of in awe of her as she sort of walked past me, so we didn't really have a conversation.
What's going on at the moment in terms of the sequel? I'm amazed. I hear today you've got 200 people at work on the Two Towers, which of course is part 2.
It's all of our weta folk. Yep, all of our wonderful CG artists who are slaving away on the film. I'm cutting the movie. You know, we have cut the movie, and now I'm refining it. It's a chicken and egg thing, because before the visual effects can really be done, I've got to cut and then hand over the shots. And we've got 600 effect shots for the second film, and I guess we've probably got about half of them currently in the works. And one of the interesting things actually with the Two Towers is that we're releasing a preview of it, like a trailer of it, is going to be attached to the Fellowship of the Ring in a few weeks. On March the 22nd, we're going to add a Two Towers trailer to the end of the movie just for the last few weeks of its theatrical run.
So there they are, Peter. That's them today. Once again, we see the warmth and the love and the affection I've got for the film and for the project and for you too. Wonderful.
Wow, wow. No, it sounds like a great party. God, it's a shame I'm stuck here.
This is such, you know, one of the things that's become apparent about Lord of the Rings is the quality of the team and the devotion of the team to the central aim and the talented people who comprise the team and the positiveness of everyone. What's the secret to getting a team like that together?
Well, you know, I just think that everybody involved in the film has realised that in a way, you know, this is a once-in-a-lifetime chance for us. This type of project doesn't come to New Zealand very often, and when it does, everybody has been so determined to prove that we can do it as good as anybody else in the world. And that's one of the interesting things that I actually noticed with the awards and with all the nominations of the different films, is that there's not that many traditional Hollywood films that are featuring in this award kind of round. You know, there's Beautiful Mind and Shrek, but a lot of the other films are from other countries, Moulin Rouge from Australia and Godford Park is England, and so it's interesting that cinema is kind of spreading a little bit, and particularly the fact that we can now prove that huge visual effects movies that were always the domain of Hollywood can actually be now made in New Zealand. And it's only because of the determination of all these people and the skill that everyone just says, well, we can do it. Why can't we do it? And they're just proving that we can. So it's great.
You are, I mean, this is a huge wave you're riding. Dizzy heights. Is it hard keeping your feet on the ground at the moment?
Oh, no, it's absolutely fine. My feet are on the ground because I'm, you know, midway through post-production on the next film, and I'm actually, it's sort of frustrating travelling around a little bit. I mean, obviously it's great to collect the awards, but I want to get a kind of a momentum going with focusing on the next film, on the second movie. So a lot of my mind is now starting to pull away from all the award stuff and think about the story and the plot and the characters of the Two Towers, because that's where I need to focus on now. So.
Fran was not with you in London, and you mentioned your kids, Billy and Kate. Perhaps you might have a final brief message for them before we go.
Yeah, well, I mean, as I said in my speech, you know, Billy and Kate are 5 and 6 years old. They're the same age as this project, which means that they've had a dad and a mum who've been so busy, but we will be home very, very soon. It's the travelling away that's the worst, actually. And we're going to make a special trip to Hamleys today, to the biggest toy shop in the world, to get something special to bring home.
Some Lord of the Rings merchandise. Just kidding.
Yeah, maybe.
Peter Jackson, thank you again for getting up so early. Congratulations. We're so proud of you again in New Zealand. Congratulations on your success. 5 awards, your success at the BAFTA.